actually hard-pressed to think of a situation where you would be around 38 teenagers. Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Sarah. I make videos about teaching and lifestyle. Today I'm continuing on with my 10 things that I wish I had known before I became a teacher. So coming in at number 2, I wish that I had known that other people have no clue what you do on a day-to-day basis as a teacher. So I think that there are a lot of misconceptions about what teachers do on a daily basis. And no shade, no salt, but I really think that some people think of it just as like a glorified babysitting job. So they think that you get a couple kids and they hang out with you for the day, and you do it at a place called a school. And you know, whatever happens to go on during that time is whatever. It's all good. I think that, you know, a lot of people think that their kids go to school and do like arts and crafts all day, and like, hello, that ends in kindergarten. And it's not their fault. I'm not here to sit here and be negative and say that it's anybody's fault that people think this. I really think that TV and the media has really portrayed teaching in a sort of like glorified light. So when you watch a TV show, like I'm thinking about Riverdale because it just comes to mind as a TV show that's out now where they show kids in school. What I noticed right off the bat with Riverdale is that they show like a beautiful school setting where the kids have like lounges and they just get to go there and hang out, like, and they spend most of their time there, and they show like all this technology and beautiful, beautiful school buildings. And I think that for the majority of teachers, that is just not the reality. I know that I personally teach in a school. I believe my school was built in the 70s, but I know that I have wood paneling on every wall in my classroom. I have no windows. Another thing that I notice is that on TV, they portray these students as being high school kids, and they look like they're in their mid-20s. They act like they're in their mid-20s. There's no behavior issues whatsoever. And in a real school, if you're a teacher, you know that is just not the case. You know that some kids act below their age, some kids act above their age, most kids are somewhere right around where they should be, which is still a teenager. We are not dealing with fully grown, fully developed adults here. So I think that the media does a less than perfect job of portraying what teachers have to deal with on a daily basis, and I really think that that makes our job harder. I think that another thing that some people think is that it's just sort of like arts and fun and crafts, and they don't necessarily see the standards that we are held to and what we have to hit and what we have to teach in a given period of time, which is actually very short if you think about all the breaks and everything in between. You get 180 days. Of those 180, you might actually get 170 actual true teaching days with your students. So that's a lot to fit in 50 standards, because it takes more than a day to teach these things, especially if we want to get the kids hands-on and engaged and do fun things with them. So there isn't really a lot of downtime, and there isn't really a whole lot of lounging, as I feel like is portrayed on some of the popular TV shows today. Overall, I think that most people are pretty clueless as to what teachers do on a day-to-day basis. I'm not saying that it's their fault. I don't know what a lawyer does on a day-to-day basis because I don't live that life, but I think that it is a call to action for us to try to portray what teachers actually do on the daily as real as possible, because I really think that if people saw the effort that goes into getting 38 kids in one classroom, 38 teenagers in one classroom is what I have. And so 38 teenagers in one classroom, I feel like unless you're a teacher, I can't imagine a time when you would be around 38 teenagers. I'm actually hard pressed to think of a situation where you would be around 38 teenagers. So for some, I mean, I guess I can see how it would be really difficult for some people to imagine what a teacher does on a day-to-day basis, because being around 38 teenagers is pretty unusual for most people. So with that said, I wish I had known that people have no clue what you do every day. And I wish that in some way, somehow, the media will start to portray that in a more realistic light. Thanks for watching, guys. I will be back next week with my number 3 thing that I wish I had known, and I hope that you'll stick this series out. If you didn't, go back and watch the first video. I will put a card up above me so that you can click and watch that next. Thanks for being here.